All right, everybody, welcome to ProBROknow.
Welcome.
Yes.
Hey, fellas.
Three brothers.
Three opinions.
One topic.
One topic.
There you go.
Yeah.
How you guys doing today?
I'm good. It's been a few weeks since we've been together.
Yeah, we're in holidays,
Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah, it was nice, actually.
Yeah.
Is that what we're calling it? Holidays?
Yeah, that's what we're going to call it.
I was on holidays.
Were you?
I was at the cottage, went to Wade's
Oh, that's true.
house for like pool day.
Yeah,
That's
you were.
true. That's true.
It was good.
I think we need to fix your microphone though, Wade, because it's like way under your chin.
Yeah, well.
Way under my chin.
Yeah, it is. But it's okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's
How's
better.
that? Is that better?
I like it.
Oh, man. It looks so much better with that mic under your chin
Yeah,
like
hiding
that.
your
I
face.
thought it was good having it under my chin, but now you're hiding my face.
I know. That's why. I
That's
needed
when you
to-
wanted it.
That's why you needed to move
Okay,
it.
no, I get it. Chad, if you could just lower your seat about 3 inches,
Get my
that'd
whole
be,
head out of the picture.
that'd be perfect. Chad, if you could just turn around for a second.
Sure. I'm gonna do this whole podcast in reverse.
All right. Well, before we start doing some juicy topics here, let's dive right into the podcast.
Sure. You don't want to tell us what we're going to talk about?
I guess I could.
Yeah,
I'm
why
going to
not?
wait.
I wouldn't.
I'm going to wait
I'd-
till we dive in.
Are you?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's
Do
dive
it.
in.
All right. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Guess what we're going to talk about today, guys?
I do not have a clue.
I know. I think it's going to be an interesting topic.
You always say
So-
that.
I know. That's my tagline.
Okay.
That's why we have the 100 viewers that we do because of that tagline. But anyways,
It's 140.
105.
Yeah. Okay.
I watched it twice.
So did every
go.
member of my family.
What's the topic? Do it.
So the topic is
Do it.
nomad living.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
And I want to get your perspectives. And the reason why I didn't say anything earlier is I want the discussion to be, raw and your first sort of
Sure.
visceral.
You're not
emotion.
going to use the word organic, are you?
No, I do. I want to get your unfiltered, unbiased thoughts
On nomad living.
nomad living. Yeah,
As
because
in-
you know,
As in our friends.
yeah,
Okay, what they're doing.
correct. Because there's a lot of different perspectives, and so I want to get yours. So I'm going to throw it out to both of you. I don't, whichever one wants
go
to
ahead, Wade.
answer.
I don't
Well, I
really know
have a
what-
question though, just for clarity.
Yeah.
Nomad living, or can it be even just being in a trailer or Winnebago on vacation, or you want to know
No.
nomad living that you've sold everything
Sorry,
off?
you're saying, you're saying
Okay.
exactly
let me
like our friends.
Yeah, I'll clarify.
Okay.
So nomad living, we have friends, which obviously we all know, that have decided they're done with the 9 to 5 sort of societal norms of,
Yep.
growing up, getting a house, paying it off, going on your 2-week vacations a year, and being stressed out while you're planning to go. And then when you come back to all the workload, I think they're looking at it like, hey, why do I need to live that lifestyle? Why can't I make every day, I guess, a holiday or an adventure?
Yeah.
And so, that's what they've done.
It's a
They've-
combination of, it's not really living off the grid, but sort of, and getting out of the rat race.
Well, it's
they still both work,
Yeah.
luxury, luckily they have the luxury of working remotely. And so,
Right.
Since COVID, it's really helped them be able to do what they do without being in an office. And now it's just about, well, if we don't have to be in an office, why do we need to be in a home?
Yeah, I mean, I will give some formal opinions, but I mean, first off, I think a lot of people don't have a job that will allow them to do
I think a lot of
nomad
people
living.
do.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of people that are obviously working remote, but unless you have that, nomad living is never going to work for you, right? You can't have an office that you need to go to. You can't have a business. You can't work at Home Depot. You can't work somewhere where you have a product, or it has to be, like a
remote-
tech support or something.
Some
that,
kind of remote work that you do.
yeah, that's the only way you could do
Like
it.
if you're not a doctor, living a nomad lifestyle, but yeah, I think it's more and more people are working remotely and are digital, digital nomads, I guess, in terms of the workforce. So this is just like, I guess, the next, transition.
I think you could even do a hybrid as a nomad.
Well, I think that's what he does. He still does have meetings and sometimes has to fly in to do presentations or go visit clients. And it's just wherever you are, you park the trailer or leave it at wherever you are and take an Uber to an airport and go for a week, have your meetings and come back.
Now, I haven't seen their new trailer. I think you've seen their trailer, have you not? And it's a luxury.
Yeah. Oh, it's
It's a home on wheels.
Yeah.
Super fancy.
Yeah. So I think if you're asking our opinions, I think I could do it, but I would have to have a pretty fancy trailer to make it happen, to feel comfortable doing
A little
it.
princess over there? You can't,
No,
like granite countertops. You can't do like laminate.
I'd be okay with quartz.
Quartz tops.
No, I'm not talking that. I just mean I'd want to have the same kind of
All the
conveniences that I
comforts of
have.
home.
You don't
that
want to
I
be
have
living in a
now.
10-foot trailer. You
Correct.
want to have at least a 40-foot or 30-foot.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't want to do the like sleeping in a bunkie where you just have a bed and a desk and that's all you have. Mm-hmm. You know, where the way they're doing it is certainly not roughing it by any means.
No.
No, but I think you'd also want to have a bigger space. Not that it doesn't matter, but I think there's an element to this. You have to really be comfortable with your partner that you're doing this with.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a romantic couple that are doing it now. It'd be. I think there'd be some challenges. Like you're never really out of each other's space unless one is traveling for work or whatever.
Yeah.
You're always in that same space.
I think that would be the hardest for me actually is that, I do enjoy my free time essentially where I can just, as being a musician to just be able to, plug in my guitar and just do that and not irritate, my wife. How are you going to do that in a trailer? I mean, you're not going to be able
You
to.
put on headphones and you.
Well,
Yeah, you could do that.
but you
yeah,
could.
what about when you get in an argument? You get in a big argument.
Well, then you go- you go for a walk in
I'll be
nature.
at the front of the trailer if you need me.
Pretty much. Like I'm going to my room, which is also your room.
It's like
Yeah.
you said before, like I'm going to my trailer, but you're already there,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You slam the door in your
That's
own.
right.
Yeah.
Slam the
Like,
door and you go into the bathroom.
I'll be in the kitchen cooking dinner, watching you sitting right beside me watching TV. Like you can't go to your own space.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. Maybe you go for a walk in nature wherever you are, right? You just get away.
You could do it, Spence?
I'm not saying that. I think it's a different way to look at. Like, here's one thing. Here's why I decided to do this topic. If we're lucky, we've got 100 spins, right, around the sun,
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
right? So,
How do you know that, by the way?
well, I don't know. I'm assuming maybe you have 80 spins, whatever.
100 is, that's hopefully.
Yeah. But I think if you base it on 100, maybe it's not. Maybe you only lived in 90.
Oh, sorry.
But,
I'm a little slow. You're talking age.
Yes.
Okay.
100
years.
years.
100 spins
100
around
years, buddy.
well,
Okay.
a spin around
All
the
right.
sun
Fair
is
enough. Fair
a
enough.
year.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if maybe you skipped
No, well,
that
as I
day.
said, I was a little slow on that one.
We did go to VMS. What do you
that's
want?
true.
That's right. Went to school in Ingersoll.
Chad was homeschooled by his own. He decided he was going to homeschool.
I
No one knew,
homeschooled
but-
myself, in case anybody was wondering.
Wait, the Earth rotates around the sun.
Okay, go.
So thinking of it that way, that we are here for a limited time,
Sure.
and I get that. I hate this word really when you start talking about social constructs, but we've been sort of conditioned that you go to school, you go to university, you get a good job, you try to save up for your house.
True.
You spend 25 years paying off the house, and then you have this retirement, and then you're gone.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you really look at it, you're working 50 weeks a year or 48 to get your 4 weeks vacation that maybe you take a 2-week vacation once every year, or maybe a couple different vacations of a week or two a year. But the rest of the time is like you're working, and you're working for what? You're working to pay off a mortgage.
Yep.
And you're not really what I would consider experiencing life, right? Like you are, but I think if you could, not have all these encumbrances and just say, I'm going to live a nomad life.
Yeah. I mean,
And experience the world for what it is, because that's like the whole world. Life should be about experiences, right?
Yeah,
and not buying things and
it's like the difference between us and North America versus Europe, right? I feel like when I go to Europe that they work to live. Like they're going to work enough to make enough money so they can enjoy the things they want to enjoy. And then in North America, we seem to live to work. It's like
True.
work is our identity. Work is what we do.
Yeah.
It's
8 to 12 hours a day.
It's what defines you.
Is what defines you.
you're
So
saying.
that's what defines success. How big is your house?
In North
what
America,
kind of car do you?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
And is that really success? Because I think for me, success is being able to have experiences and live your life on your own time. That to me is success.
Well, and on your own terms,
Right.
I guess as well.
Yeah. So it was just because I have, a very good friend or good friends doing this, I had some really good input, right? I spent probably more than an hour chatting to both of them to get their input. They're actually living this lifestyle now.
Oh, did you do that just for the purpose of this topic?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Interesting.
I did my little research.
Oh, wow. Look at you. All prepared.
So I wanted to get their perspective, and then I wanted to throw it out to you guys so then I can hear what your initial response would be, and then I can layer in their real life experience to it.
Interesting.
So okay, so I like to have a home base. I love to travel, but it's always nice to come home and feel comfortable in your own environment and just feel like this is my castle. This is right. I think over time that trailer, whatever you're in, becomes your castle. So I guess what I'm not sure about, and maybe they shed some light on this, we tend to get, life becomes a bit repetitive and complacent and boring because you're always in the same kind of environment. And I work a lot from home now, so I always have that environment. Like work and home is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, they're blending together.
They're blending together now. And when you go away somewhere, and then it kind of gives you this new excitement and eye-opening experiences, and you just kind of feel refreshed because I saw a new space, a new environment. And I know they're traveling to new environments, but does the trailer just become the same space like a house does over time? Does it lose its appeal over time?
So good question, but I think the
Thank
trailer
you.
isn't
Thank you.
the
I thought it
appeal.
was a good question.
I just
It
said
was
that to be
great.
nice.
Great
It
question.
was-
I thought it was a great question.
I thought it was not a good question. But so the trailer isn't, it's not that it loses its appeal or has any appeal. That really is just the vessel that they're living in to experience the world around them, right? So I think you're looking at it differently. I think you living in your house versus you living in the trailer, which is now becomes your house, is the same. You're gonna look at it the same way, right? The difference is everywhere you go is a new experience. It's like depends on how often you're traveling, but if you're going to a different location in the trailer every week, let's say, or every couple weeks, it's almost like you're going on vacation every 2 weeks, and you're blending the work, your work life and your travel life, and your home life together.
So they spend a couple of weeks at each location, or that varies?
Sometimes they spend a month at a place.
Okay.
Sometimes they spend a day or a couple days. It really depends on scheduling, where they are.
I guess what's coming up.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I know. I mean, I certainly envy them for being able to just do that and pack up and go and sell other belongings. And
I think it takes some
100%.
kahunas to do that.
I don't know at this stage of my life right now that I could do it. And I think the main reason is because things have changed. I mean, with them and their kids are grown up and they don't have any grandkids or anything. There's nobody that you've got FaceTime, you can talk to people. We're a very close-knit family, right? So the idea of, for example, like, Missy and I being out on the road doing that and being 1,000 miles away from the grandchildren, like I know she would never want to do that. I don't think I would want to do that either. And I think that would be the hard part is just, you've got grandchildren, you've got aging parents, you've got, other family and events that you're not going to be able to participate in because you're out on the road doing the nomad thing. I think that would be the hard part for me.
But they could, though. They could just travel back to where those events are if they wanted to. Like it's not like they're traveling.
Well,
they're not
in a different country,
24 hours away in the trailer.
Okay,
I mean,
you're saying travel back. Sure, there's a 50th birthday party for somebody. You could drive back and
or you can hop on
go
a flight
or whatever.
Or you take a flight.
You're not going to when they say, somebody says, "Hey, we're all getting together on Friday night and going out for pizza." I mean, you're missing all of those types of events.
Potentially, yeah.
You're missing those, but you're gaining, a whole lot of other experiences that, so they just spent pretty much the summer on the east coast of Canada.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Right? And got to see, And I think this is the part that kind of grabbed my attention is they got to see places and have experiences that you would probably never ever get to experience on a typical vacation of
Yes.
a week or two, right? They've been immersed in different cultures and meeting different people, and that's kind of the whole thing. Is
That's the cool part.
right? They've traveled to a lot of the places too aren't your typical like campground. It's like it's a winery or it's a fromager where you go and
Sorry, what's a fromager?
like a place that makes cheese.
Oh, okay. So it is what I thought it was.
It's like
Okay.
a cheese farm or a cheese whatever.
okay.
So all these different places.
You can't say cheese farm. You got to say fromager.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah,
Sounds
it's much easier to say
yes,
fromager.
Fromagerie.
You're very well educated. Thank you
Fromagerie.
for that.
Well,
I think it's fromagerie.
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 I think so.
Oh, whatever the case, they got to experience.
The more I say it, it sounds wrong.
yes, it does. It does.
How
Sound
do you say fromagerie?
Yeah.
Formaggio. So,
But
anyways,
the cool thing is that you've got these, places and venues where they welcome the nomad lifestyle. Someone, whether they're in a tow behind trailer or a class A, drivable motorhome to come stay on the property, and maybe it's free, but they just maybe either expect you to buy some of their wares, whatever they're selling. Some places make you do some sweat equity. Hey, we can't afford to pay to stay here, but maybe I'll help you muck a stall or
Yeah. So I was going to ask you that. Like, where do you? I wouldn't even know the first thing about where to even stay.
Right,
To
and
be
that's
honest. So
I just assumed they were like campgrounds along the highway, like just random type stuff.
so where do they stay?
So the cool thing is that they've obviously been learning as they've gone through this journey is there's an entire community of
Nomads.
nomads that have
Yeah, I could see
sort
that.
of been the pioneers have come and gone, and now there's this whole infrastructure where there's Facebook groups and you can get all these online communities where people have hey, I'm going to be going on the East Coast. Anyone
Right.
have any great recommendations? And there's there's people and places that have signed up. I forget there's a one site specific. I can't remember the name, but I'll remember it after this podcast. You can maybe put a link or something in the comments of our video, but that you can go basically to these websites and that they will track all these different spots where you can go, whether it's a winery, a brewery, or whatever. People that have tons of land that welcome people to come on there. You just obviously clean up after yourself. You have to be able to be off grid, right? They don't have dumping stations or
Right.
things like that. But if you are self-sufficient, come stay. And some charge a nominal fee. Some say, give us a donation for feed for the animals if it's a farm. Some say, do you want to help do some work for, kind of pay off your stay?
And they just trust that people that are coming are good people because they don't know.
Yeah, you don't know, but that's, welcome to the human experience, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what they said. They said they've met, so many different characters along the way.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And like really funny people, some not so funny people, some not so nice people, some rude people, but that's, that's what you get everywhere you go. And, but they said they've always had way more positive experience than negative.
Wow.
Yeah.
So would they say that they have a home base?
I didn't actually ask him that question,
Yeah, I mean the home base is
but I think the home base is the trailer.
It's on wheels. I mean, yeah.
They just happen to be strapping this, $500,000 trailer on their back every time they go somewhere, and that's their home base.
Wow. Is that what it costs for that trailer? $500,000?
I think probably for the whole setup, like the truck that pulls it, the trailer, the generator, the batteries. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to sell everything you have to
Starlink.
do that.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. The median home price in Toronto is
Yep.
probably close to $2 million. So it's a steal of a deal if you're only spending
Yeah.
$500,000.
So they now have no property. They've sold everything.
Nothing. Yeah.
This is, yeah.
I think they have a storage unit maybe where they have some stuff stored, but pretty much what they can pull in the trailer
Is what they
which
got.
is they had to be obviously very
Yeah.
mindful of weight and what's important, what's not.
I'm thinking doing that would be part of the hardest part is paring down what you have to decide what you really need.
Well,
I
it's
know when they were
probably-
going, I said to him, "You're going to have a fishing rod?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm taking a fishing rod." Right? But
Chad's
I mean-
whole trailer is lined with fishing rods.
No, but I
Yeah.
think about it for me, like what would I do, as a musician? Like would I sell everything and keep one acoustic guitar for myself?
No,
as
you
an
would just
example?
put it in storage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the bonus is you're selling all your assets, so you have a good chunk of cash to
presumably.
do this.
Yeah.
And in the end, if you get sick of the nomad life after 3 years, you can sell the trailer and you can buy a house if you want to.
Yeah, I guess putting it in storage would not really be that expensive when you're not paying any rent or anything.
No, it wouldn't be.
Just to keep it on the side with some stuff in case you change your mind.
And if you're living every day off the grid,
Yeah.
like even if you go to some bougie campgrounds where, like I know in Florida, it's almost like a resort. They've got the pools and I think you probably spend upwards of like $80 to $100 a night to stay at some of these places.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just to plug in to use their electricity and stuff like.
Well, yeah, electricity,
Really?
water, but but it is like a resort. It's like you're going to a resort. They're not like a typical
There's
campground.
probably a pool and a hot tub and a sauna.
Everything.
And,
It's decked out. It's crazy.
Well, even
I would
if-
do that.
Let's be honest.
But
even
that's
if-
$3,000
even
a
if you-
month.
I was just going to say, even if you stayed there for a month, that's $3,000. Probably their rent in Toronto was $5,000.
Oh God, yeah.
Right.
Well, all the expenses together, yeah, I would
Yeah.
say way more than that. But yeah, when you look at it that way, it's like you're going to a resort for $3,000 for two people. It's $1,500 a month. Like
Yeah.
you go for a week vacation, you're spending a couple grand a person.
So did you ask them, are they saving money doing this?
I didn't ask, but I'm
that's
going to
an
say that
interesting
most
question.
definitely they are.
I have a couple good questions in me. Sometimes
do?
I sometimes
No,
I do.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Wade. Thank
I know
you.
Spence doesn't think they're good questions,
Yeah.
but I think
thank
they're-
you for being.
Oh, this was a good question. the
that
money
that,
part,
that was a
yeah.
good one.
Thank you for being prepared, Wade, and you too, Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we did.
This
a
is the
research.
most I've been prepared, actually.
I
Well, we know.
This is actually. I think this is the most wide awake you've been in the last several weeks.
Yeah, maybe. I've had lots of sleep.
Okay, so have they saved money?
I didn't ask that question, but I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
How could you not?
I would agree. They lived downtown Toronto, and I know
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
rent there was expensive.
What were you going to say, Wade?
Well, their biggest expense is obviously fuel, and then
Yeah,
I
that's
know
a big,
he does.
that's a big one with that.
He has Starlink that he's paying for, and you've got
Campground charges.
yeah, but it's got there's no
It pales
comparison.
in comparison.
Yeah, there's no comparison.
And they're not driving every day, too, right? So the fuel cost is probably similar to what you would burn if you were going to and from an office.
Commuting, yeah.
Of course.
So here's the really important question for me is, what's it done for the relationship?
Or can you share that, actually?
Yeah, unfortunately, they're splitting up.
After the first week,
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah. No, he left Jen in, oops, I wasn't supposed to say names. No. So we did talk about that. And obviously there's good and bad,
There's
right?
got to be some challenges with that,
Yeah.
for sure, personally.
Have they had arguments? Of course, they're a couple. Like everyone's going to have arguments. But has it brought them closer together? No question.
Is that
Really,
right?
eh?
Yes. Because think about it. You know the feeling that when you're on vacation and you're with your significant other and you're experiencing new things, like it's all
Yes,
things are new and
and the
exciting and different.
stresses
Right.
of home are not there at the time. Yeah.
Right. And so they've somehow managed to blend that into everyday life. And so there are stresses too, don't get me wrong. Like you have to work and you've got to, find power or have an internet. And if for some reason that day it's wonky,
Right.
you start stressing out because you've got meetings that you've got to go to. They've had some stressful stuff like that. Parts breaking. You're not expecting, it's a brand new trailer. You don't expect things to break, but I think their fridge went. They had a part that broke.
Right.
That's a bummer.
And now you're in the middle of nowhere, right? And so you've got to deal with it, right? And so are you trying to figure out how to fix it yourself? Or are you calling a mobile RV tech to come out? And God knows what that expense is. So there's trade-offs, right? There's obviously
yeah. I wouldn't have thought about that.
other stressors that you have to think about. But I think too, there's a freeing element where there's a lot of free time to go explore and see, like there's, one thing that he mentioned to me was, you can live in Toronto for 5 years and maybe not see as much of Toronto as someone who was a nomad in Toronto.
Oh, for sure.
Experiencing, because you fall into this, I live here. I'll go to that thing tomorrow or next week.
Well, that's for all of us.
And you never do.
I live in Northeast London. I never go to I come to the South End to see you guys and see Chad and go to our band practice.
Well, it's true. You know,
Other than that,
if you just think about like if you had guests coming and they said, we want to come in, we want to do all the touristy stuff in London. Like, you're going to go to a hockey game.
But there's tons.
I mean,
of
there's
it. That's
stuff
what
to
I mean.
do,
Yeah.
but you don't think about it because
Right.
you're here, right?
Yeah. So that's one thing they did say. They've experienced a lot of history of Canada, especially on the East Coast, that they never knew existed. And they've been sort of, the luxury of experiencing that and seeing the beauty that this country has to offer.
so are they all in now? Are they going to do this forever? Is that like you think they're fully committed now?
Well, I think they're fully committed for the time being. I think to say forever is a long time.
How do you say that when
Right.
they've literally been at it for a matter of months, right?
No, I just mean like when you do something like that, you tend to know, yeah, this is exactly what we want to do, and we're going to keep.
I know
it
they
for a
have
while.
zero regrets. Zero regrets.
No regrets.
No, that's good.
regrets.
That's good. I could see myself doing it for the experience of just being able to see, like you say, I love the East Coast, so just spending all that time by the water and all of that.
So here's what I was going to say about you.
Oh, okay.
So I did talk to Andrew. I'm not supposed to say names, but I'm saying names. Just about you, because we did bring your name up about lifestyle and could you do something like this? And you're unique because you have a cottage, right? Which is sort of your escape from the home base. You love to fish. You still do some fishing trips, but for a moment, think if you were to say, you know what, I'm going to sell the cottage. I'm going to sell the house. Or maybe kept the house and you just sold the cottage. But if you took that money and decided, I'm going to be a nomad for 3 months of the year, and think of all the different places that you could go fish, from West Coast to
tons.
East Coast to fly-in little places to Cabo and
I would absolutely love that. Of course.
But think of the experiences now that you wouldn't be able to do because you maybe couldn't afford to do that. But if you sold a lot of your stuff,
Excuse me.
bless you, bro.
Thank you.
You could have some crazy experiences in your life that you might never be able to afford to do. And then on the flip side, because you've got boat and tackle and all these other businesses that you still
well, that's the
think
thing.
of the content that you could have.
I know, but I wouldn't be able to run it.
Why? You're doing it live. Guys, hey, I'm in the West Coast where we're fishing for salmon.
No,
Okay,
but you
that's
have
fine with social media, but I'm talking about going to a warehouse, packing orders.
Oh yeah, no, you'd have to find
I'd
someone
have to
do
hire
that.
somebody
Sure.
I'd have to take on an employee to do that.
yeah, you would.
Yeah. But
So okay, so you talk. So that brings up a question now. So you talked about. I'm guessing you talked about whether Chad and I could do that lifestyle with.
Well, that was going to be a
this
question I was
with
going to
this
pose to
unnamed
either
person.
of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could do it on the short term. I do not think I'd want to be away from. I mean, if I didn't have a business that I had to operate in any capacity, I could just go and, like you said, fish and play music on the top of a mountain or whatever I want to do. I'd be all over that for a few months. But I would not want to be away from like grandchildren and the kids and stuff for an extended period of time at this point in my life. I don't think so.
Maybe when they're a little older, you wouldn't feel so bad about seeing them every 3 months or so.
Yeah. I mean, well, lots of us, look at us, we had mom and dad were going to Bahamas for 5 or 6 months at a time and we didn't see them. Right?
Yeah.
So same difference, I guess. That's the beauty of FaceTime or whatever, right?
But look
Yeah.
at they had grandkids
Yep.
and they managed to still do that.
I know.
So I think it's, yes, I think we have to break, I don't want to say programming, but like we've been programmed that this is how you're supposed to live your life. And I'm not sure if that's, the right way.
Yeah. So
I think there's a different way.
So what's the moral of the story for you? You've asked us, do you see yourself doing that?
I could see myself doing that because again, I kind of live my life like that now, where I like experiences over, things, and I'd much rather, experience life that way. I think.
Yeah, you're very much off the cuff. You'll just do something just because it's different, and
Yeah, but it's interesting though, because you're also you are very much that person, but you're also very much
habit.
I like having the nice things and the big house and the nice cars and the nice vacations. So you're kind of stuck in this kind of both worlds a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I think I would choose vacations over nice cars and all that kind of stuff.
because of the experiences.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like my nice car because if I got to go to work and drive every day, I want to make the drive to and from
An experience.
right?
Yeah.
But that's
No,
what it is.
Sure. No, I get that.
So if I'm not doing that and I'm working remotely and my experiences are now just different and my experiences are experiencing every new spot that I go that I can work from. Like trust me, in my job, I could probably work 100% remote.
I think you could too. You wouldn't want to.
I wouldn't want to because I do like the interaction.
I was going to say, like, I would
With the
not like
staff.
not having people to interact with around, you know.
Yeah. But like from a work standpoint, I could. But I also do think that I bring value by being present in an office
Yes.
to sort of bring people together and, camaraderie and all that. So I think that, gets lost when you're not present.
For sure it does.
But from an actual, hands-on, the things that I do at work, I could do that in Italy and Greece and
So
North
you
America.
would do it then, but maybe just on a short term, like just a few months at a time, like you said, 3 months or whatever.
I don't even know if I would give it a time limit. I think I would just, would I be okay saying, you know what, let's just sell. Like Tina and I have actually had this conversation that, in retirement, do we want to keep a house or do we want to sell everything and just travel and maybe live 3 months here and try different areas?
Yeah.
And now I'm not saying that's going to be for forever, but is that maybe for a couple of years where we kind of get our feet wet and see what we like or countries that we like and experience? And
We've had the same discussions, but I still feel like I need to have a home base, and maybe that's a small little apartment somewhere that I just know I have that place that's
Right.
mine to say that's my
Your
home.
fallback.
But I can still travel wherever I want to travel.
But I think maybe as you travel, you find different places that you've become your home base where you're like,
Yeah,
oh
for
my
sure.
God, I could see Paris as being my home base. And then maybe end up setting up a little flat there.
You mean Paris, Ontario?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wade was traveling. He was thinking St. Thomas, Union,
Virgin Islands.
You pick all the towns that have, international.
Woodstock.
Yeah. Chatham.
That's it. Well, that's very interesting.
Yeah. So the good thing is we're going to get to see it play out. So I'm excited by that. But so far, obviously there's some trade-offs, obviously. But apparently the trade-offs are,
Much less than
it's worth all the trade-offs.
So they've been doing it now for what, 8 months? 6 months?
No, like from the spring. So
yeah, probably
so-
4.
that's it.
Probably
Okay.
4 months.
4 to
Okay.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see how they are
May,
after
June,
a year
July,
or two.
August, September, 5 months or
They
something.
got to get through the winter, which is going to be very different.
Well, they're going south.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're going to go to the U.S.
Okay.
So like that's the beauty too. You're now following weather.
Like whereabouts in the U.S.?
I don't know.
They going to go to Florida?
Arizona,
Well,
Arizona?
presumably
Mississippi,
someplace warm.
Texas, California.
Anywhere they want to go. Arizona.
Wow.
Follow
So-
the sunshine.
I think the romanticized part of me would love to say I could do it. I just honestly don't know unless I did it.
Right.
I know certainly my wife wants to travel that way. She wants to do Europe in a Winnebago or a trailer. Even as one of those
I think that'd be
small,
amazing.
one of those small sprint kind of things, and just travel Europe that way. And part of me says that'd be awesome. The other part of me thinks, oh, those are tight quarters for a long time. So I don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to have my space too.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's kind of cool.
that's-
To
There'll
think
be
about it.
definitely a follow up on this.
Yeah, let's do a
I'm
follow-up.
sure there'll be a nomad lifestyle part 2. I'm
Hey,
sure.
can we let's plan this maybe in another few months? Is
you
have
wanna
them
get
call,
them to do it?
Have them call in. No,
I was going to do a call
Yeah.
in actually. I did mention that, Tim, that I would love to have them because again, we talked about so much different things.
Yeah.
That I haven't even scratched the surface of some of the stuff. So,
bet.
and I said I'm probably going to forget, but you guys, as you're going to be mentioning stuff, it'd probably remind me. But yeah, I think it'd be great to have them as like a call-in
would be
special
cool.
guest.
yeah, let's do that for sure. Let's make that happen.
Yeah. I like that idea.
Yeah. But anyways, I just thought it might be good to get people thinking about that maybe life isn't just about the normal 9 to 5.
Well, I would agree
Owning
with
a
that.
house
Yeah,
and-
we're very programmed.
Yeah.
In not such a good way.
But that's the beauty of the internet, right? It has allowed us to kind of live this lifestyle.
All
Well,
right,
there you
man.
go.
Thanks for that topic.
Yeah.
Well, to be continued, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for bringing that up.
You're welcome.
Thank you guys for watching, and thank you to our sponsor, Wild Finds Worldwide, for the Bottled water, lots of great products, Canadian-made products in the health and wellness space for you and your pets. So check them out at wildfindsworldwide.com.
And very nomad friendly, I might add.
Is it nomad friendly? Well,
I don't know. I'm just going to say that. Sounded
Yeah,
good.
sounds good.
anyways, thanks for coming, guys. Thank you, Spencer, for the topic.
You're welcome.
All right.
See you next time.
All right.
I'm ProBROknow.